Tonight, educators and public officials are being shamed and even disciplined for comments that may appear to condone or celebrate the assassination of conservative political activist Charlie Kirk.
And this is something happening nationwide. We're also seeing it right here in central Indiana. Our Rich Nye has been looking at the fallout across the state and joins us now with what he found. What'd you learn, Rich?
Well, freedom of speech is included in the United States Constitution, very First Amendment, right? It's a big deal to most Americans. And so you may have the right to say anything you want about Charlie Kirk's death, but it might also cost you your job.
The Department of Child Services says that one woman is no longer an employee with the state of Indiana after what it called a comment made in poor taste about the death of Charlie Kirk. A statement from DCS says, as public servants, state employees are held to a higher standard of conduct and ethics. DCS didn't say if the woman was fired or resigned. Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita is calling on Hoosiers to report educators or administrators making comments that celebrate or rationalize the assassination. Rokita's office says hundreds of people have submitted evidence through the AG's Eyes on Education portal over the past 72 hours. The office plans to post them once verified. The office said in a statement, if a government employee would prefer that parents and other Hoosiers not know about their support for the violent assassination of a husband and father of two young children, perhaps they should refrain from expressing that support in public forum. But the ACLU of Indiana says that public employees' speech outside of work is protected by the First Amendment.
We think it's incredibly distasteful for an elected official to be encouraging Hoosiers to spy on their neighbors based on their speech. That's not what we do as Hoosiers. That's not how we live as Midwesterners. It's really indicative of countries that are much more repressive than what we believe the United States should be.
Ball State University acknowledges it is looking into the social media post of two employees and whether discipline is appropriate. Danville Community Schools acknowledge that it is reviewing the comments of a teacher and will respond accordingly. A statement included, "Please know that we are taking this situation very seriously and will ensure it does not affect the classroom environment."
Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith has also asked Hoosiers to report comments from educators and state employees that celebrate Kirk's death to his office. And I tried to interview one local university expert on free speech today, and he politely declined the opportunity, perhaps a little bit leery to exercise his free speech to talk about free speech.
Perhaps evidence of just how sensitive this whole thing really is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Rich and I reporting this afternoon. Thank you. And tonight, the Marion County coroner is identifying a man who died after a stabbing during what police believe was a domestic dispute. 20-year-old Brainer Matute died after arriving at the hospital around 6 o'clock Saturday morning. Officers at first thought he'd been shot, but later revealed his death was the result of a stabbing. It happened near East Washington and I-465. Metro Police have since arrested the person of interest they took into custody following his death.
It appears the Miami County Correctional Facility needs some upgrades as it prepares to be used to house undocumented immigrants. You may remember the agreement Governor Braun announced weeks ago, saying the state prison in Howard County has 1,000 beds the federal government can use. Well, now our partners at the Capitol Chronicle report the Department of Correction needs nearly $15.8 million from the state budget to get it ready. The agenda for the State Budget Committee meeting this week shows the facility needs infrastructure upgrades, enhancements to perimeter fencing and lighting, as well as temporary housing structures. We have an update tonight on a story we have been following for several weeks now. We're talking about that building right there, the ongoing disrepair at the Washington Square Mall on the Far East Side. The community is concerned about it. Now there is action promised to clean it up.
Ella Rhodes has those details.
These Marion County court documents show 4 health code violations found at the Washington Square Mall. The property owners, Durga Property Holdings, have until September 18th to repair the violations. A few weeks ago, we told you about the conditions: leaking ceilings, broken lights, boarded windows, potholes littering the parking lot, and the list goes on. The violations from the County Health Department are for a leaking roof and ceiling damage, not functioning AC and heat, and 2 trash violations for high grass and weeds. The fines have been building up as well. Durga Property Holdings must pay $2,500 flat and an additional $2,500 a day until the violations get fixed. 13 News spoke with the property manager, Keith Lee Jr., about the repairs, which he says they're in the process of fixing.
This mall being a shell of Indianapolis for 50 plus years, it's like, yeah, why not give them a better environment, a better place to shop, more safe environment to shop.
The property owner's next court date is on September 18th. In Indianapolis, Ella Rhodes, 13 News.
All right, Ella, thank you. To the weather impact now on this Monday evening, and summer, Angela, is still very much here.
Dustin, say that again.
It's not going anywhere anytime soon, is it?
It's not. I looked at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. I looked at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, both above average. So that puts us out 2 weeks of dealing with more summer heat in September. Temperatures across the area today, upper 80s and low 90s. We have 89 in Muncie right now, Lafayette 87, 91 Terre Haute, 89 Bloomington, a few clouds overhead, Indianapolis, and currently 86. That's down from our high of 88. It's going to be a warm, mainly clear evening. Temperatures will stay in the 80s through sunset. Drop into the 70s once the sun goes down, eventual lows, upper 50s and low 60s. Summer heat in September. Yes, it continues tomorrow with forecast highs in the upper 80s, close to 90 degrees the next couple of afternoons. Little concerned with the air quality across the southern part of the state. There are air quality alerts in place south of Bloomington, so think Bedford, Seymour, North Vernon. If you suffer from upper respiratory problems, just take it easy during the late afternoon, early evening hours.
Thank you so much, Angela. And thieves are targeting the food assistance program, SNAP, leaving some Hoosier families hungry.
The benefits are being stolen right out of their accounts in minutes. 2 families told our Jenna Webster they don't know what to do.
Moms are known to document their kids' lives in photos.
6 kids, 5 girls, 1 boy.
Evelyn Jorgensen has teenagers who eat a lot.
They're taking food out of kids' mouths. So who's ever doing it, they don't care about the kids.
At midnight on September 13th, $1,100 was loaded into her EBT account, her monthly SNAP benefits. The next morning, the money was gone.
$60, $70, all in Philadelphia. I didn't even think it was real. I was like, what? They really did take my stuff.
Someone else said they did their mom the same way. I mean, I've heard that it was happening, but I'm like, what are the odds that it would happen to me?
Erica Lawless had it happen to her in a big way.
Yep, every single penny. Within 6 minutes was gone.
$916 in SNAP benefits stolen. She discovered the 3 a.m. transactions in Philly and New Jersey in the grocery store checkout line.
It was embarrassing, and I was hurt because I have 5 kids that I feed. I just got laid off from my job.
Both women don't know how it happened to them. The state website says card skimming or card cloning is often to blame.
It was devastating because I know, how am I going to be able to feed my kids until the next month?
As of December last year, the state no longer replaces those stolen SNAP benefits.
So there's nothing that they can do at all. We don't get them back.
Its website says locking your EBT card is the only way to protect your benefits and recommends changing your PIN often. It also says it's working to determine what enhanced security options are available.
Something needs to be done about this issue, this theft.
I was crying. I'm done crying. Now I gotta get over it and do what I gotta do as a mom.
As a mom, it's what you have to do for your kids. In Indianapolis, Jenna Webster, 13 News.
Erica tells Jenna she's filing a police report, one in Pennsylvania, another one in New Jersey. Those are where the thefts happened. She says she's not sure it's going to help her, but hopes a paper trail will eventually prevent it from happening to others. Man,
they always say you're supposed to report even if you think nothing's going to come of it. All right, tonight there's a push to get some relief money for Madison County homeowners and businesses damaged by a spring tornado. The tornado happened back on April 2nd. Recently, Madison County Emergency Management Agency staff got together with FEMA for a second review of the cost of the response and recovery, and they also spent a day touring the damage with FEMA representatives.
The Indiana Fever now getting ready for Game 2 of the playoffs.
The team needs a win against the Atlanta Dream after losing Game 1 on the road. There are still tickets available for the game at Gainbridge Fieldhouse tomorrow night.
The team announced DJ Cool is going to be the halftime performer. It's cool. Tip-off is at 7:30 tomorrow night.
There you go. And they got to win this one to stay in.
They got to do it.
Yeah.